Hello, 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 hello. Okay, look. So we have a lot to cover today for two main stupid reasons. Sarah Boone just loves to write. And not only that, these motions are like 29 pages long. 29 pages long. Sarah, have mercy on my eyeballs and my throat and the judge's brain. But anyway, we're here for it. But the most important thing about this letter, I scanned through it. I'm a good scanner. I scanned through it. There was a lot of keywords there that really makes me wonder that I don't think she's not just a narcissist. I think she's actually a psycho, allegedly. So take these two sticks out of here. So let's jump straight into it. I'm going to spare you some of the drama. And before we start, consider giving me a like, subscribe if you haven't done so. And of course, if you wanted to do more, you have options in the description below. And if you're new here, I'm Alistair Hanzeke. Listen, pay attention. Come here. This is just my point of view. So keep your judgment to a minimum. I'm not a journalist. I'm just a guy with a big mouth. Okay? Now, let's get started. Oh my God, the time. Go! Okay, first page, motion requesting immediate relief to the defendant by appointing effective standby counsel to aid and support in preparation of her criminal case for trial. Comes now Sarah Boone, pro se and indigent defendant, respectfully requests from the court immediate relief by providing effective standby counsel with all legal services allowed and included. The entitlement to assist and aid the defendant as a whole in a complex vital procedure preparation with professional guidance during her forfeited right to counsel by the court as pro se attorney and in her proposed lawful representation of herself in her criminal case. All right, first and foremost, let me give you something very important here. This very long paragraph is saying the same thing 3 times. The first paragraph is saying the same thing literally all over it. The second one, it says the same thing. The first one at the beginning and also at the end. Really, she wants representation for counsel. Now, I'm going to assume she's going to spend the rest of the 28 pages, because that's just page 1, telling us why she was wrongfully terminated. Her right to have counsel was terminated, right? So, let's go. Because let me tell you something right now, Sarah Boone. I've told you, and I've mentioned in the last video, that I can see from the essence of like her face, her demeanor, she's not paying attention. There's some stress situation going on where I think she understands the severity of a situation. And I think she's like, in her head, oh my God. Now, keep in mind, in terms of the chronological order, this motion was written before what we saw the other day. So she must be complaining very hard because what we saw the judge do is answer a lot of her concerns, right? Ooh, she's gonna have a big mouth on this one because it's bolded. She bolded it up, honey. She was ready for this, and it's very well written, legible. It's legible, so I can read it. That means she's just nice and composed with an attitude. Can you tongue pop? Let me know if you can tongue pop. Let me know in the comment below if you can tongue pop. Look. I don't know. Okay. Okay, anyway, so first page, come on, Alistair, focus. Okay, number 1. Reason why she needs a lawyer back. The defendant's 6th constitutional right to counsel is being, of course, violated, unfairly withheld, and favorably renewed from the indigent defendant under the 4 principles. Blah, 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 right? Oh, not fair. By the defendant's lawful practice of, okay, look at that. I don't even have to read through the whole thing. A quick scan tells me right away, the second paragraph is what? Is that she has the right as a citizen, this is according to her, to say whatever she needs to say and write whatever she needs to write in however manner she needs to write and not be penalized for it because she is a citizen. Her freedom of speech, her right to speech is being infringed upon. Now, let me tell you something, little girl. Nobody's stopping you from doing what you want to do. Clearly, you did what you wanted to do, right? The difference here is that consequences. Welcome to the real world. Consequences. I scanned that paragraph because nobody's business. No 29 page. I'm going to get you. I'm going to win this. Then she goes, the defendant is not an officer. Oh my God, I get it right. The defendant is not an officer of this court or any court or legal system as a whole. She is not bound lawfully. I got it right. Wow, Alistair, good job. Under oath or certifying any professional means to be and act as a legal agent of representative lacking prerequisite professional competency, experience, expertise in the field of law. I got it right. So yes. The second page literally is saying, I deserve my lawyer back because you are judging me for my attitude, and I am not bound by law. I didn't take any oath or anything to curb my attitude. I'm telling you the way I see it, okay? So give me my lawyer back. Wow, she's that predictable. Oh, I'm just that smart. Shit. Anyway, page 3. Come on. 3 out of 29. Hurry up. The defendant is defective and ineffective. Oh, yeah, I agree. Counsel to self as a result, which therefore would detrimentally impact and impede favorable justice to the defendant and the opportunity of a fair trial based on equality with an unprejudiced conclusion of her case. Oh, I know where she's going with that. Oh my God, I'm too famous. I'm too famous. You can't find an impartial jury. Therefore, you gotta let me go. Is that where she's going with that? I'm prejudiced? Let's go. The defendant is presently incarcerated, which is causing and will cause unfair burdens, limitations, okay, deprivations, okay, inaccessibility, not, I know that's right, and unequal opportunities in and to her ability to complete tasks and timely responsibilities suitable to the vital defense of the defendant's life and livelihood futuristically. I disagree. If this is one of your argument criminals that you are going to be too bothered to make your own defense, what are you doing all day? What are you doing all day? You're a criminal in a cage. Bring it. You're in a cage with a bed and food and entertainment, and you have company, other criminals, other inmates. What do you do all day? You mean to tell me you have 24 hours in a day of literally staring at a wall? You cannot sit there and think, put two brain cells together and be like, how does a lawyer do it? Maybe I should use that time to go to the library. No, it's because you're enjoying the fruits of your labor, being a murderer and criminal and just laying back while we work. Oh my God. Guys, you have no idea how much we work. And you work, I work, and our tax dollars support these beasts, and this monster, and this burger, and this butcher. Yeah, while they sit around looking at a wall and eating out of our backs. I'm just saying. It's stuff like that irritates me. It's like, no, honey. No. So this paragraph, suck a lemon, woman. Anyway, next one. By the court rejecting professional educated experience and assistance of effective standby counsel to and for the defendant in preparation of production of a rightful defense, results may be adverse from the unfair and disadvantageous oppressive circumstances to properly thrive in her forced position by the court of pro se attorney and position of herself. All right. Look, all that paragraph to say nothing. That's just a whole paragraph to say unfair. Unfair. Page 3, page 429. Oh my God. Okay, quick commercial. Anyway, how are you? So what are you doing for this weekend? So let me tell you something. You know, I read the comments. I listen. I've read some of the comments from the last video the other day. This is quite current. I had to pull back my pre-recorded one because this is breaking news, I guess. Yeah, breaking news. Thank you, my Sarah Boone spies. Oh my God. Don't mess with us. Shit. Anyway, listen. Let me just address a few random comments that stuck in my head. You see, sometimes when I put the video, I have the little camera, the little player that comes down here. Someone was like, "Well, why don't you make it bigger?" The simple reason is because there is a fine balance as to how often this big thing can be before the big papa says to me, "We don't like that." So the more of me you see, the less issues I have behind the scene. That's the main reason. And because I don't like headaches and things are too complicated, I'm like, whatever. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, pretty much. That's how I look at it. You have to streamline this stuff. This is a very hard job. At the beginning, you try to be the best student, but after a while you go, oh my God, this is a lot of freaking work. I had no idea this YouTubing is literally a full-time job. I don't need a full-time job, so I need streamline. The second thing also someone said, all right, let's continue. The defendant has not reviewed from the court today at this motion any of her promised discovery or case-related materials, blah, 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 blah. The defendant does not have access to a computer, no internet, So, long story short, let me scan this real quick for you. Long story short, she is complaining that she does not have adequate access to internet, computer information, even make a phone call. She has no privacy. She has no way to organize stuff. In other words, she's asking for official lawyer office. She wants a lawyer team. Girl, you must be out your mind. Do you understand how ridiculous and why I think she's allegedly a psychopath? Because in all of this, look what she's asking. Look what she's asking. This is what? Hold on. This is page 5. You see, she's in the first 5 pages. She's asking, all right, you want me to be my own lawyer? I want a desk. I want a computer. Give me some water to the side. And a hot doorman. That's what I want, Judge. Look what she's asking. That's why I think she has no shame. A narcissist will not ask that. Someone who is narcissistic will be embarrassed. There'll be a sense of embarrassment. She goes all the way. She has no concept of her place in this sphere. And she hasn't been drinking. She's just sober. This is sober Sarah Boone. Do you understand? Do you understand? A narcissist has shame. There's a little insecurity there. A psychopath doesn't give a crap, darling. And they're both narcissistic. But not all narcissists are psychopaths, but every psycho is a narcissist. Okay? So, the audacity. And of course, doing it, I blame everybody else, right? It's not her fault. All right, she continues. Now, for page 6, it gets mumbo-jumbo-ness. You know, she referenced a lot of the Constitution and articles and whatnot and amendments in the United States Constitution, as if she's smarter than the judge. But okay, all right. So she said, right to counsel is assured by the 6th Amendment, which has been incorporated into the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment, as well as state constitution, so that every criminal defendant who faces a potential loss of liberty has access to an attorney who provides effective assistance of counsel at each stage of the criminal proceeding and process. Right to counsel applies whether the defendant can afford to hire a lawyer or not, in which case the court will appoint without charge to defendant. Right to counsel. Listen. All right, continue, Alistair. Waiver to counsel is a criminal's defendant refusal of counsel at any stage. Blah, 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 blah. That is known and voluntary force, and that is clearly and unequivocally reject visitation or assistance by an attorney at law during the pending proceedings. I'm not going to make the 29 pages. This is just motion 1. I can barely finish the 58-page letter. Oh my God, I'm being overwhelmed by Sarah Boone. She's writing more than I can read. I know what you might be thinking, like, shut your mouth, Alistair, and read. I'm trying to read this without my brain telling me, stop reading. You know, I have to fight what my natural body wants to do, which is just turn the page and go away. Because it's so audacious. I naturally don't stand right. Naturally, okay, look. I'm going to scan through the pages. And I'm going to summarize it and give you a synopsis, because I cannot go through every paragraph like that. It's a little bit mentally taxing. So I'm going to do what I do best. I scan documents all day. And I get the gist of it. Are you ready? Set? Let's go. All right, page 7. What a bitch. Got it. In other words, so the page 7 pretty much states this, that in the Constitution, she has right to counsel regardless. This is what she says, and she cites all the amendments and whatnot. And she also mentions really quickly that, oh, wow, I'm sorry. I couldn't control that. Oh, wow. I'm not going to edit that out. I'm sorry, we're friends. Anyway, so she also mentions, she puts in question the competence of this whole ordeal, because competence means more than a minimum of mental awareness and capability. However, it involves an intelligent conception of the consequences of this act. No one explained to me. So essentially, she's saying in pseudo terms, according to her, right, that just it's your fault, Judge Michaela. It's your fault. It's your fault for thinking that you have a leg to stand on and remove those rights. You don't. You don't. And so she puts in quotes, the trial was a farce. or a mockery of justice, or was shocking to the conscience of the reviewing court of the purported representation was only pre-functionary in bad faith, a sham, you see, a pretense, or without adequate opportunity for conference and preparation. And she cites where she got that from. Now, here's the thing, Miss Thing, is that if you were a lawyer, maybe, I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I cannot tell you, if you were a lawyer, maybe you would know what they know. Obviously there's something that they did and they know, and that counteracts what you said. Since you quoted from, I guess, People Digraphy 1969. All right, fine. You know how to read, but the judge and the lawyers go to law school. Yeah. Anyway, page 8, scanning. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? Really? Okay, so page 8, pretty much, this is what she says. She says that because it's so ineffective to represent yourself that most likely you're going to lose, that it's unethical. And it's a failure of the Of course it is. Of course you're going to lose. Of course you're going to lose. The only person who beat the law, I forgot his name, but I'll tell you who like what he did. So it was someone who was a horrible criminal. He had like life in jail, like jail for life. And then he had a heart attack and he was clinically dead, and then they revived him and he was like, well, I died. I served my life sentence. And he was set free. And that, so they had to go, oh crap. They had to go and rewrite this. Like, oh, well, he has a point. That's the only person I can think of that was like, wow, first of all, how dare you? We saved you. You better stay in there. Second of all, smart, right? But that's the only I can think of. So, lady, have several seats. Of course, it's a disadvantage to represent yourself. And again, it's not up to the court. It's not the court is not your lawyer. The court is not your law advisor. It's not up to the court to figure things out. The court is just there to make sure no laws are broken. And clearly you've broken one. So it's up to you as citizen to come in with an even playing field. And they've given you 8 lawyers, darling. 8. Because clearly sometime in the past, sometimes in the 1900s, 1600s, someone was like you and abused it all. And they went over there and they changed it. So the court and the law of the land had decided that, yes, it's a right and a privilege, but honey, you cannot just abuse your tax dollars. Someone mentioned in the comments the other day in the yesterday video that they've already spent $340,000 on her. $340. This is what gets me mad. That's what gets me really mad. Do you know why? People who are good people who could use that money, $100,000. People can't afford their rent. Good people have difficulty eating. Look at the homelessness. I'm just saying. And we spent all of these tax dollars on this beast. Now think about that for a second. It's stuff like that that makes me just want to jump out my skin and breathe fire. Just breathe fire on all these criminals, like all of you, or maybe not Baby Daylift, Baby Daylift, Baby Daylift. Oh God, no, you're not Daddy Bailiff, but all these losers, these lunatics, breathe fire on you all. Jump, just jump. No, seriously, it's this thing that really gets my blood boil. We work so hard, and people work really hard just to give it all away to some random person who's like, oh, whatever, I just killed someone yesterday. Ugh, where's my food? Is it lunch yet? Where's my holiday? No Christmas? No Christmas? No, she was complaining about not having holiday. Do you remember? She was like, wow, it's Christmas. There's no one in the office. Now I have to wait until Christmas is over to get my paper processed. I'm like, beast, I'm going on holiday. Like, look at It's not even funny. Anyway, next page, Sarah Boone. 9. Due to ineffective assistance of counsel, the federal court in 1999 set the second sentencing aside. Why aren't you still citing stuff? Okay, skip that. Florida Constitution 2024 edition. 2024 edition! Ah! Ah! Bitch! Oh, Sarah, if only you were no more a nice person. I can see potential of you being such a shady queen. You know, I like shady queens. They're really funny. Anyway, Article 1, Declaration of Rights. Section 2, Basic Rights. All natural persons, female and male alike, are equal before the law and have unalienable rights, among which are the right to enjoy and defend life and liberty, to pursue happiness. Anyway, yeah. Sarah, yeah, you see this person here? He also has the right to life and liberty and also pursue happiness. Oh, look at that. Section 4. I'm already at page 10. Oh my God. Freedom of speech and press. Every one person may speak, write, and publish sentiments on all subjects, but shall be responsible for the abuse of that right. No law shall be passed to restrain or arbitrate the liberty of speech of the press. In all criminal prosecution and civil action for defamation, the truth may be given in evidence. What? What are you talking about? If the matter charged are defamatory, is true, and was published, she is not. Is she for real? With good motives, the defendant writing truthful, lawful letters to the court requesting help. You're lying. You're lying. With dysfunction of attorneys, you see? Wow. Then the defendant is unlawfully forced to forfeit her right to counsel from lies, misinterpretation, and ineffectiveness from the former attorney's retaliation from the... Listen, what is she talking about? What is she talking about? She's talking as if she really knows the law. What is she talking about? She's pretty much saying that she's being punished for writing letters and complaining that her lawyers are defunct. And so therefore the court is mad at her for complaining about the defunct lawyer, so the court is removing her right. Out of her mind. Like as if she's not aware of her own behavior and situations, as if she's not aware of what she's saying and what she's doing, as if she's not aware that people are aware of what the hell's going on. Wow. And he said, what are you talking about? No, I know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about? Perfect. If you don't know, great. I just gulped. I'm nervous. Woo! It's very vague. It's very vague. Even if you find out what I'm talking about, I'll just deny it. Because it's so vague. It's so vague. I could be like, whatever. Section 5, right to... All right, listen. What is she going? I'm going to skip through a lot of these pages because she's saying right to assemble. Okay, is she citing, listen, due process? All right. Scanning time. Section 5, right to assemble. Okay. All right. That doesn't apply to you. Okay. Due process. Okay. All right. It doesn't apply to you. Right of accused. Okay, let's read that one. In all criminal prosecution, the accused shall upon demand be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? They told you killed someone. I mean, I don't understand. And shall be furnished a copy of the charges. I can't. Sarah Boone, someone you put in the suitcase is dead. And shall have the right to have compulsory process for witnesses. What? What is she talking about, guys? What? To confront a trial adverse witness to be heard in person by counsel or both and have a speedy and public trial by impartial jury in the county where the crime was committed. What is... Kids stay in school. That doesn't even require you to have a law degree to understand that. It's just common sense. Oh, I got an itch in my nose. Sorry, we're friends. All right. Oh, page 12. Okay. The 14th Amendment to the Federal Constitution declares all persons born or naturalized in the United States, that's me, and naturalized, and subject to the jurisdiction, therefore, of citizens of the United States. Oh, yes, I can go to jail. Wherein they reside, no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge to the privilege or immunities of citizens of the United States. Okay, look. I'm going to scan at least 3 pages. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. I'm going to scan the 3 pages and give you a summary, okay? Got it. Okay. So in the next two pages, page 13 and 14, she talks about how they have no right to remove, infringe in her right of liberty. Wow. Sometimes I'm like, what? And her right of property. So she wants her papers. Give me my discovery and take me out of jail. I cannot believe. And it's like okay, quote, it's vain to give the accursed day in court with no opportunity to prepare for it. So 2 pages of complaining about the same thing. Look, see, I'm gonna summarize this mess. Okay, page next 2 pages. Scanning. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, I have to read this. Article 5 declared that all criminals shall have the same privilege of witnesses and counsel as their prosecutors. Every person charged with treason, murder, felony, or other capital offenses should be admitted to make full defense by counsel learned in law. Right. Agreed. Notice and hearing are preliminary steps essential to the passing of the enforceable judgment, so that they, together with a legally competent tribunal having jurisdiction of the case, constitute basic element of the constitutional requirement. Blah 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 blah. So the reason why my brain got stuck on that one is because she forgets one important fact here, and of course we're not surprised. She said, as a person charged with murder, I have the right to counsel, mandatory counsel. Yes, dummy. All criminals, like if you sue civilly, get your lawyer if you want to. But all criminals must have counsel. I only pointed that out as if it's like, wow, you like don't want to waste your time. Everybody knows that. The disconnect from page 1 to page 15 is unreal. It's like, again, she's not listening, right? She's repeating a lot of what she's saying in the prior pages. Okay. Let's see. Judgment with such citation opportunity once. Okay, so let me scan page 16, 17, 18. Okay, unfortunately I have to read page 16, 17, and 18. All right, so, oh God, and they're very long too. Okay, 16. Even the intelligent and educated layman has small and sometimes no skill in the science of the law. He is unfamiliar with the rules of evidence. Left without the aid of counsel, he may be put on trial and convicted upon incompetent evidence or evidence irrelevant to the issue or otherwise inadmissible. That's why you need a lawyer. Kids, criminals, don't be an idiot. You're already stupid because you broke the law. Don't be a double idiot because we all just going to laugh. Get a lawyer. Now, if you do something civil, you better get a second job. If you do something criminal, you better just please. I hope they find me indigent. But you cannot go without representation. You have no idea. The beast, which is the court system, it's called a system because it's a system. It's not a straight line, darlings. Do you know what I mean? Okay, next. The necessity of counsel was so vital and imperative that the failure of the trial court to make an effective appointment of counsel was likewise denied within the meaning of the 14th Amendment. All that is necessary now to decide if, and we do decide where the defendant is unable to employ counsel and is incapable adequately of making his own defense because of ignorance, inexperience, or the like of it. Yeah. She repeats a lot in those pages. Scanning through them, I see a lot of repeatedness, and she just marries them with some statute or prior cases. But like, look, even in page 20, it's the same thing. The legislature had become so thoroughly convinced of the inappropriate and injustice of shackling and restricting a prisoner with no speed of his defense. It's the same thing. I'm 2 seconds from just wrapping this up. because in our criminal prosecution, it's the same thing. It really is the same thing. Oh my God. I could have saved myself like good 20 minutes. So look, oh, darlings, 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 darlings. She spent 28 pages to tell us the same thing. And yet she has the audacity to say she doesn't have enough time. This is motion 1. All right. Okay. So, you know what? Let's read the conclusion. So she has a conclusion. This motion for immediate relief of defendant be appointed effective standby counsel to aid and support in preparation of a case. So 29 pages to tell us why the judge needs to reinstate counsel. Now look, because my Sarah Boone spies are the best thing since sliced bread, they gave me the judge's response. Now, I'm going to tell you what the judge says in relation to every motion, because, look, it's already 40 minutes, and, you know, I only have an hour and change to record, right? How dare you, Sarah Boone, take my time away from my people? Hi, everybody. Hi. If you got to this point, that means you like me enough. Thank you so much. Listen, I understand I'm not for everybody. Look. And listen, in the great honor of one of my subscriber and member who unfortunately passed away, Jojo. Listen, she's one, don't want to name you all, but you know who you are. The people who were commenting when I'm having at the beginning difficulty to be like, oh my God, like I'm very self-conscious of my condition. Not the gay thing. The condition where my brain goes very fast. I get excited very easily. I get angry very easily. I'm very self-conscious of that because in my real life, I have methods and loopholes to deal with that. But here in front of the camera, sometimes it's not the same. It's not the same as in real life. So I get very relaxed and it comes out. And sometimes I get very self-conscious about it. And I used to edit that out, but because it's just too much work, I don't. And I just cross my fingers and just whatever. People will fall, people will follow. So I'm very thankful. If you got to this point, that means you like this mess enough. And I'm thankful that I didn't turn you off. So press like, subscribe. Oh my God. No, but wait. The like, subscribe because I got a channel to run. But before that, I really mean it. I really mean it. You remember one time, commercial. Remember one time I sent a whole like, I love you guys so much, you know, random video. I was working in the office. I was doing a random video and I was like, I was just thinking to myself like, wow, you know, it's a very unusual friendship. It's not the same. And I'm not your typical content creator. I'm really not, because I'm doing this as easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl as I can. And, you know, it's nice to be exposed and to have the love back, because when I was a young growing kid, you know, people made fun of me. People made fun of me for being loud. People call me obnoxious, rude, but I wasn't rude. I was just having outburst, right? They were always sometimes say like, I'm head in the clouds. I'm not exigent. I'm stupid or dumb, right? And then I will ace the test because I look disorganized. I look like I'm not paying attention, but I'm so here, right? Anyway, thank you. Let's go to my next. Is it the next segment? Yeah, next segment. The judge response. Next segment. Judge responds. Okay, now this is what I love about the judge. Listen to me. The judge responded in 5 pages. Now, she did 5 motions. He took a page to respond to each motion. Honey, Sarah Boone, this is how you do it, okay? You don't spend 29 pages thinking about the same thing. This is how professionals do it. I don't have time for your mess. So this is what this is what he said, according to the first motion, okay? The defendant, first of all, it's written in such a lawyer way. Like, if I ever get a piece of paper like this, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. But anyways, look at that. It's so formal. Damn it. I got brain cells. Anyway. So he says, comes now the Justice Administrative Commission, JAC, By and through the undersigned attorney files this response to the above cited motions as follows. The defendant is seeking authorization for various due process costs as follows. Appointment of standby counsel to assist the defendant. Okay, we'll take a break on that because that's what we talk about. All right, so let's go. 1. Look at that answer. This is an answer to 29 page. Are you ready? As for the appointment of standby counsel, the court entered an order on June 28, 2024, finding that the defendant waived her right to court-appointed counsel through her conduct in this matter. Period. Thus, comma, the court has already ruled on the issue of appointed counsel. Period. Done. Whoa, talk about that. Judge Mikael is very shady. He's a shady boots. Look at that. Answered in 2 seconds. There's something to be said about corporate America. It's first of all, corporate America is full of loonies. But there's something to be said about being such like, it's so 1, 2, 3, 4, dun, 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 dun. You know, and it's like, go, stop. I'm cool. Am I kidding? I'm talking out of my ass. Okay, let's go to my final thought really quickly, and then we'll go to my let's talk. So yeah, there you have it. Final thought on that. Final thought is that now I learned my lesson. Most of emotions is just repeat. So I don't know what the other emotion is going to be like. We can guess looking at the answer of the judge. So cost to take the position. So she wants to take the positions. Oh, she is not asking to be paid, is she? Stop it. Woo! If she's asking to be paid, honey, now that I'll give you an award. Shameless. Shameless. Wow, you know what? If I was a criminal, I would go out with a bang too. If I knew, oh my God, that's it, I'm gonna go to jail forever and I'm gonna be hung by my feet. Yeah, I'd be like, I'll be probably a Darryl Brook Jr. I would pout and shout and delay. I mean, it's like, I can see why they're floundering. They're scared. Oh my God, no, who am I kidding? I've been to court before, okay? I'm talking so much poop. I've been to court before. Do you want to see me in court? Wait, what do I do? Huh? What do I do? Okay, left, right? You don't move, darling. You don't breathe. You let them talk. And then, so you don't even interrupt. No, you leave the lawyer do his thing. Don't interfere. Don't mess up with his mojo. Just, please. I've been to court before. Don't say anything. Yes. And then afterwards, when you go to your privacy rooms, then you're just like, oh, what happened? What does that mean? Am I going to go to jail? Oh, well, what do we do? Then you like go. But in court, you go, you become puerile. You become a kid. You don't know. Nope. But I would be so embarrassed though, because it would be so disappointing to all the people who count on me. See, this is the thing with my situation. Are we in the let's talk or final thought? Oh, let's talk. Shit, what a mess. Okay, if you got to this point, thank you so much. It's my let's talk. Like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, look. I know I look very revealing, but listen, I'm going to the gym right after you. I told you last video, I gained a lot of weight. I am at 201. I'm 201 today. I was at 205 when I talked to you, when I recorded on Monday. I drop it very quickly. I just have moments where I just like, because I've been single parenting. I wanted to eat ice cream. Shut the F up. And so, but the thing is that I'm like a yo-yo. I explode, I shrink. Right? So I'm going to the gym today, right after you, and then on my way home, I pick up the kid and I come back home. That's all. It's just, I go this, home, what is, just gym, what it uploads and all that stuff. So I know. And you're like, oh, well, wear your jacket. It's a heat wave. We're in the middle of the heat wave. Now, normally I'm freezing here. I'm sweating. I don't want to show you my armpits, but it's a little wet. I'm sweating. The jacket was like, where's the air conditioning at least there? Oh, be quiet. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Am I done with this? Let me turn this off. So that's distracting. Yeah. Anyway, I forgot what we were talking about. But listen, you know what? Today I had a meeting. I had a very important meeting, and you know what? Maybe I will share that with you a little bit. So, you know that I donate some of the money I make from this YouTube channel. I donate it, and I try to be strategic about who I donate to. And one of the things I donate to this organization who specializes in bringing education to serviced kids in Trenton. So Trenton is the capital of New Jersey. Is one of the worst city in the United States in terms of you know what I mean. And there's no capital, right? There's no money, and this organization focuses on providing education. So making a difference through educating the kids. So a lot of times, you have social services, right? But sometimes you might say to yourself, well, why don't you just go get help? Sometimes you don't have the brain power to actually go and get help. Help could be right in front of your face. But if you don't have the aptitude to even look, it's not, you can't get help. And so what this organization does, it removes the pressure of the parents, of the teacher, to worry about school supplies. So every year we go with a backpack. We fill up the backpack for the entire year. You have all your pens. It's a full kit, right? I would try to find a picture in the editing and show it to you. And I came across this organization because what attracted me to them was that it is 100%. Everybody there donate their time and their money. Nobody makes a single penny. All the money is spent, and the leftover is given as a check. To who? To who? No, it's given back to the teachers. So should the teachers buy like a pen and whatnot? So there's a little fund that gives them money back, because in Jersey you cannot expense that anymore. Someone took it away, and so now teachers can no longer expense. Teachers in blue states can no longer expense the charity they do for the kids. But this organization is trying. So it's comprised of ex-CEOs, big shots, big shots. I'm just a regular person. But what attracts me to them is that they are very adamant about they're not taking any money out. It's pure donation of their time. So I make a donation. I make a donation on behalf of this channel. Now, of course, in true fashion, nobody wants to be on camera. I can't blame them. I'm like, do you want to? No. Who is this? What is this? What's going on? No. I'm like, this is not for me. It's from all of us. So, okay, great. Well, here's where you can donate. So I said, just give me the picture of the bags that my money, that the money that I gave does. And you'd be surprised how much a little goes. It goes a very long way. Last year we did 24 bags. I think this year with the money I gave a little bit more. It's 27 bags. 27 kids don't have to worry about school. Isn't that great? Because there is no better power than being educated. What? The more you know, nobody can do anything to you. The power of education. Listen, all these predators, they prey on people who are not educated. But the more education, and those kids, especially my girls, not mine, but especially the girls, the more education you have, the more you could be like, don't touch me. I am not interested. What? It's so exciting talking about it. It's like, yeah. Now just go to school and just do the best you can be. Don't worry about nothing else, in the perfect world. Yes. And then the other thing I had a meeting about today was, listen, I sell fitness for a living. And I think I mentioned to you very briefly, at a point of time, I've tried to get to Congress and try to make a change of laws. Wow, Alistair. Yeah, I did. And the reason why I did is because as a leader in my industry, and this is the space I'm in, I come in contact with people who really desperately need professional attention beyond just a regular personal trainer. Okay? Sorry, beyond just a physical therapist. Where the insurance industry does not recognize us as professionals. They look at us as like, oh my God, these are just people who didn't make it in life and they just do personal training. So your insurance does not cover my expenses. And let me tell you something. It's not cheap. The average person can't afford it like that. It's considered a luxury. And when I see people who I know you need it and you can benefit from it, but they can't access it, what do you think happens? What do you think happens? You think no, they just go back and get worse. And so I took some experts, people who are smarter than me, because I don't know everything. Please, I know what I know and that's it. And I said, why don't we just make a pitch? You're a professional over there at the South Brunswick Hospital. You're the data person for cardiac rehab. You're the director. Come on, let's do something. And I am who I am. And let's go over there and be like, here's what I do in my profession. It's very similar to physical therapists, right? The difference is that why do you recognize physical therapists as members of the preventative coalition? Why not us? Because after physical therapists, what did they tell you? Here's your exercises, go home and do them. You think they do them? They don't do them. They need extra guidance. They won't remember. They need someone else to be there. Okay, now that you're doing that, let's build up on that, because what are personal trainers but glorified physical therapists? We know the same thing. We go to school, we study the same thing. Now you might say to yourself, well, why don't you become a physical therapist? The reason why is because physical therapists is like, do this and this. And I'm not insulting them, it's the science intricateness, but it's very different. Let's say if you wanted to build muscle, because sometimes you have to build muscle. Sometimes you have to lose fat. These are very specificities that a personal trainer or a fitness professional comes into play. It's in conjunction with just playing with your joint rotations. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's two important parts. They marry one another. How can you leave one out and forget about the other? It's because the viewer is like, oh, whatever. Just failed people who are looking for a job. No, we're not. But what was I talking about? Right. The meeting was disastrous. Let me tell you something, okay? So obviously the walk in Congress didn't work out. Congress was like, get to step in. Who the hell is this? So yeah, and the reason why is because the insurance are lobbying, so they don't have to recognize us as professionals. So they don't have to pay us as opposed to you, but now you have to pay us. But the meeting really was about this. We were talking about data and numbers, and it was with the number one killer in America is heart disease. Did you know that? I knew that. And by the way, the capital of childhood obesity is right here down the street. South Brunswick. Or New Brunswick, doesn't matter. It's a Brunswick. It's right here. Right? Childhood obesity. Childhood obesity. Capital of the world. Welcome to America, everybody. Yeah. Right? And it's like the kids are dying, the grown-ups are dying on stuff that could be preventive. And it was just horrible numbers, and it's a fight that I've been trying to muster, and it's slipping away. There's not much I can do. I'm only one man. I mean, there's not much I can do, right? But you know who benefits from all that? Yeah, insurance company. They make a lot of money out of that because my husband is an actuary. He's a healthcare actuary, so he has numbers that people don't have. So he sees certain numbers. And, not to divulge too much, but sometimes, I look. Oh, I don't know why. I don't understand most of it, but sometimes we have conversations. We're both professionals. Sometimes we talk like, wow. And we bring in our situation, and it's like, wow, well, that makes sense. And unfortunately, it's not going to change. And the number one killer, which is heart disease, you have COPD, you have congenital heart failure. All this stuff are tied to lifestyle situation. But if all of it, from the physical therapist to the personal trainer to the vicious dietitian to even the life coach, I'm serious. If all of it was supported by the money you pay monthly to your insurance, a lot of us would be alive and a lot healthier today. But it's not in the interest. It's not in their interest for you to be healthy. They make no money out of it. They want you to be sick. Oh, it was just a sad, Anyway. I have a yearning desire to change to make an impact. And I've had that. So to be very clear, it's like it's not the end of my world if it doesn't happen, if I don't make an impact in the way that most people think, because I think I've already made an impact with my niece-in-law, with my nieces, my nephew, even with my siblings. Even with my I've made, even with my mother, I've made a considerable impact in their lives, and I'm very happy with that. I think things should always start with your home first, and then expand and elaborate from that. And if I can influence even me and my big mouth with with the childhood obesity thing, people call me annoying with that. For example, how do I influence childhood obesity without involving the parents? And then how do I tell the parents, don't feed your kid that? Why are we having pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? What is going on? Right? Like, how do I say a parent that without them being like, get off my back? Who the hell you is? Because they're too busy working very long hours. They're exhausted themselves. They have to cook vegetables and spinach. And then you go, well, for your kid, yes, you do. And then they're like, oh, how dare you? Oh, you don't know me. And like it's such a losing battle, because the whole thing is fucked up. The whole effort, the whole structure of it is so not conducive to your health that you have to be the abnormal person to go against it. 20%, 80% is sanitary. 20%. If you get up and go to the gym 3 times a week, you are part of 20%. Just to give you how little it takes to be part of 20%. It's so atrocious. And I'm like, what? So I do try my best to make an impact. And I think the education stuff, the donation to the education school is definitely one that I really love, because I believe in educating. The more someone knows, the more power they have, especially if they're a girl. If you have girls, teach them everything. Teach them everything they know, because they need to know. They need to know everything, and empower them. Tell them they're great. Tell them they're great. No bias to boys, because if I had a son, yeah, I would be just as obsessed with him as I would be my girl. Yeah, I'm obsessed. I don't love my kid. I'm obsessed. Within reason, right? I think about her future a lot. And then I think about her future a lot, especially now. I think about her future a lot. As long as I'm alive, I'll fight. But that's not the point. And then I spoke to my mom when my mother legal situation with my father finishes. Yes, it's still ongoing. I just stopped giving you updates, but it's still ongoing. She's going to open a school. She's going to open a school. She made up her mind. I said, well, mommy, why don't you work with an organization that already has connections, and she's like, no. I said, you're going to go and open a brand new school? Are you out of your mind? What? That's my inheritance. Stop it, right? I'm playing. No, she said no, because the vision that I have, I want it to be a sanctuary for women in domestic abuse. They can go with just go with the kids in refuge, and then we think about the legalities after. And then I said, well, mommy, to be very fair, usually the men are crazy if they come, so they'd be like, where'd you go? So you might end up some flax. And she's like, no, I want to make it into a way where they don't know the act, like it's like anonymous. I said, well, that's not bad. I think that's great. And she wants to branch that out and make it my mom and her dreams. She wants to make it like to a global thing. Like every country has Teresa Sanctuary, right? And then every woman know where to go. Something like that. And it was, in concept, it was a great idea, but we were sitting there just daydreaming with mouth opens, like, that'd be so great. Realistically, come on. What? Well, like, mom, you're not a billionaire. Have several seats, right? She was like, what? Who's going to fund all that? You have to feed them, house them. You have to respect the laws, electricity bill. Like, come on, let's be real. And you can retire. Like, who's going to pay for that? Don't think it's me. I got my own kid to worry about, right? But that's why I was like, okay, it's good thinking, but let's put it in practice, right? But the idea though is that I think once the stuff with my father is over, she will have the time to really think about it and really move forward with it, and in the best way she knows how. But we are a product. We are a product of our trauma. We are the sum of what shaped us. And a lot of times I am such an outspoken feminist, and I talk very loudly about how I support women, and I love my girls, and but one day, as I was in my high stupor of just talking about how like I want to be the vanguard for women, and someone said to me, he's like, it's a little bit hypocritical, because what if a boy who's abused comes to you and he's like, well, what about me? And this is why it's important that you always stay open to other people's point of view, because I didn't think of it like that. Even though, like, it didn't come to me like that. I'm not so high on my horse to think like I know everything. No, and I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that at all. But it's because I've seen my mother abuse, and I know what my dad is like. So subconsciously, I'm like, not again, not another woman under my watch, but there are also boys and men who suffer. Some days, time. Okay, 5 minutes. Some days, I do sit down, I do struggle. Okay, I've been make myself very vulnerable, and I haven't done that in a very long time, purposely, because I have to control how I view this stupid thing called the camera. I have, I've done extensive surgery, therapy, and there's one thing that is forever broken in me. Forever, and it's I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with that. It's something that me and my therapist at the time really came to the understanding, is that there is a stunted growth. There is something that is stunted from the extensive abuse with my father, where part of me is still a boy who hasn't really been able to process and cross over to a full-grown man. And I was like, well, what do you mean? There is a sense of unhappiness that I can't seem to put a grasp on. So, I think I mentioned that to you a while ago, where I have a baby, I have a family, I have a career, but yet I feel a sense of unhappiness, And it's during that time that we were therapizing me, and there's a shell, a protective shell, that I'm unwilling and most likely will never will let go. And no matter what I do, even in my regular life, and I'm happily married, and I'm sure you've heard me say about like prenup and what if Chris leaves me or cheats. There's a subconscious thing in me that is just ready to not jump ship, but like assume the position and fight. And like, okay, you leave me, fine, I'll be fine. Like, there's a emotional independence, like you're just waiting for the shoe to drop. You're waiting for the disappointment. There's a part of me that's still very guarded, and therapist said she doesn't think that it's ever going to go away, because it's just part of me. It's just part of the mechanism, and I operate my life with contingency after contingency after contingency after contingency after it does get exhausting, because I'm like, okay, what if A, B, C, D, E fails? Then what now? Then and sometimes Chris is like, oh my God, like, stop, we're good, relax, like, enjoy the moment. Yeah, and I can enjoy the moment, but there's always a little thing. Oh, what if the tree falls? What if this? Like, there's this. It's not negative. It's not negative thinking. There's a childhood fear. Look, I feel that. I feel that very much, and I feel it getting worse as I get older. And I've also felt it getting exponentially worse since the kid. And I get therapists. Listen, I have therapy. Please, 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 please. Therapy is one of the best investments I ever made in my life as a grown man. I've had it as a young teen. I've had it as a pseudo young adult. But as a grown man, I've had it. Please. And just sitting there and talking to someone who knows what the hell they're doing. And, in my therapy session, she doesn't talk. Hi, go. And I just talk to you like I'm talking to you right now. And she puts buttons and here and there. It's like, oh yeah, oh okay. And then at the end, I talk whatever I want. She charges me by the hour. She charges me, please. You think it's free? Nothing is free. So I could be there talking for 2 hours sometimes. And I'm like, oh my God, what a bill. I gotta go, bye. Yeah. But there's a part of me that is so afraid to not have it together, and I don't know what it's like to be taken care of. It sounds ridiculous, right? I don't know what it's like to be taken care of. I don't know what it's like to be so emotionally dependent on someone that I don't know what it's like to be dependent. And yeah, I don't know what it's like to be dependent. Even during my younger days, I told you I dated someone who was worth $400 million. I'm not going to tell you his name. He's pretty famous. It didn't last long because I couldn't deal with the fact that he just wanted me to just sit there and look pretty. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm able-bodied. And as much as the vacations and the travel was great, what was going through the back of my mind? What if one day he's like, get out? What am I going to do? I was just, I don't like that, not being able to stand on my own 2 feet. I feel uncomfortable being taken care of. I feel uncomfortable being emotionally taken care of. I feel uncomfortable being financially. I feel uncomfortable being taken care of, period. I don't ask for help a lot. I don't like to get help a lot, which is bad. It's bad. Who gets to this world by themselves? It's bad. I don't complain. In my real life, I never complain. You would never know that I'm having a problem. You'll never know, because I've been so disappointed, and it's stressful because it'd be nice to just wake up in the morning and be like, what do we do today? Nothing, right? I don't have any in me. Even on vacation, my husband is literally like, la 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 la. Christopher is so like carefree. I'm carefree up until there's, what is that? It's like just OCD, it's so exhausting. Thank you for listening to my rant. It's been a while since I chatted in my rant, right? It's been a while. I haven't done that in a while. Partially because I'm running around like a lunatic. I'm already behind by 10 minutes. That's bad because it takes 10 minutes to get to the gym. You want to see my short shorts? wait, woohoo! I go to the gym with short shorts. And let me tell you something about why I go to the gym with short shorts. So number one, I'm a sprinter, all right? I play soccer most of my life. And so I don't know how to jog. I just sprint and run really fast everywhere I go. When you are running fast, like anything that pulls, you feel that. So even this shirt, okay, it may not seem like it, but when I run, it goes back like this. And it feels like I'm not weighing anything. It's on purpose. And so when you go really fast, you want nothing in front of your thigh. Go all the way up there. Disappear. If I could run naked, I would. So ridiculous. So ridiculous. Will you take care of me? One last story. One of my good friend, Maurice, no longer friends anymore. During our times as young idiots, he had a sugar daddy. And I remember it was like, he hated every second of it. But because Maurice was Maurice, and the sugar daddy really liked him, but Maurice was like, I just want the money. And we would have those flip phones. He would send a text, and he'd be like, oh, girl. Is that him? It's like, yeah. What does he want? He goes, he just wants to spend time at home and watch a movie. That's it. And I was like, oh, yeah, who wants to do that? Look, that's all I want to do. And I'm like, that's how you know, like, the difference between young people and older people. Poor guy. He really loved Maurice. He was head over heels for him. Maurice didn't know, he couldn't take it. It was like, what do you want? Do nothing? I gotta go. I love you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Au revoir. Au revoir.